Hi everyone, and welcome back to Excellence Noir, where we seek to raise the standard and change the status quo. Today, let me tell you about my life story and why I developed the brand Excellence Noir. So I grew up in a small community on the island of St. Lucia, and that community was Labrie, to be specific, Bands Labrie. And when I was 1 year old, my mother left me and my two sisters to live with my aunt, and along with myself, my other cousins lived there, my aunt's children, and also my other two aunts' children. So it was maybe about 15 of us living there on average. And so my mom left, and it was about 8 years that we lived there. And I can remember that my father lived a few houses down the road, probably like a minute or 2 minutes walking. And in the 8 years that I lived there, I never once had any communication with my father. He never reached out to me. I was a child. Anyways, my mom would still come every now and then. She would bring groceries, she would send stuff for us while we lived there, but we lived in the really country part of the island, and my mom moved to Castries, which is the city, to get a job and all of that, to be able to fend for us. So while I lived there, as I was saying, I remember once I was ill. So since a child, I've always had severe allergic reactions, and so I remember once I had an allergic reaction, and my eldest sister went to call my father to tell him if he could bring me to the doctor because I wasn't well. And I remember my sister saying that she didn't even want to go to ask him, but anyways, they had no other choice. We didn't have a vehicle. To be honest, we were not even average. We were poor at the time. And he said that he was busy, he was washing his vehicle or something like that, and he's busy, and that has nothing to do with him. And then we got a family friend, and I remember after that my sister said she never spoke to him again. But yeah, so that was the beginning of my life, and looking back, I see all of the things that came together to make me who I am and make me believe what I believe in. And we grew up with my aunt, who was a Seventh-day Adventist, and most people think that I am Seventh-day Adventist because I have Adventist parents or any of that. Up to a day like today, my parents are still not Adventist. Well, my mom, and it's just my sisters, and we got that training from my aunt. So all of us who were raised with my aunt, we were Seventh-day Adventists. And I remember even when we used to go to church, you would feel the difference in the way you would be treated because we were poor. And to be honest, growing up, you never looked at yourself and think that you were poor until people made you feel that way. Now, we didn't really have all of the fancy clothes. Our parents were working very hard to give us just enough food to eat, so they wouldn't have time to spend on church clothes. So we would literally wear the clothes that would stop fitting somebody else. So if I was the youngest, I would probably get my sisters or my cousins clothes that no longer fitted them. So we would be made fun of because of the clothes we would wear, and we didn't have all of these things. But anyways, I think the fact that we had each other, there were so many of us growing up together, it didn't bother us that much. It was a lot of us going through it, and that was fine. Anyways, fast forward, when I was 9 years old, my mom took us to live with her, myself and my two sisters. And my older sisters were 12 and 15. And so it was a little bit of a problem trying to get along with her because we hadn't lived with her for so long. But she was a very good mother, and we could see how hard she worked to be able to take care of us. So, after a while, we started to get along. And I remember going to a new school, and I've always been an A student, from a very small child. I've always been topping my class and doing really well at school, even if I did not really get any support because my aunt couldn't make sure we did our homework and all of that because there were so many of us, and she just had to make sure that we went to school and we ate and all of that. And even when we were going to school, I remember living at my aunt, we didn't have like a food prepared for us to go to school and eat lunch with everybody else. When it was lunchtime, we would have to leave the school and go home because I mean, that's where our lunch was. My aunt would cook and everybody would come home for lunch and then eat their food. Anyways, yeah, so when I moved to the new school, when I started living with my mom, I think that's the first time I realized that I was experiencing bullying. And I don't know if I didn't really allow it to bother me, but I can remember it because coming from the south of the island, your accent is different. And so words like money, we would say like money, and come, you would say come. And so the accent was different. And when we got there, like the students would make fun of us, my classmates, the schoolmates would make fun of the way we spoke. So you kind of wanted to hide the way you speak because you were embarrassed. So this was one of the first things that I remember feeling insecure about, was the way I spoke. And my mom, honestly, living with her now, she really tried to give us all the stuff that we needed, all the essentials. However, you know, during that time there were brand shoes and there were brand bags and all of that, and everybody had it except you. And I feel like it forced me to toughen up, because I realized, like, coming where I came from, I literally had the same bag for maybe a long time, and now I was getting new bags, new shoes and stuff. Even if it was not what everybody had, I was still at a better place than before. So I was grateful for that, but that was another thing for me, where I would hide my bag, like the brand, because children would literally, like, if you were on the bus and they saw your bag, like, they would just like tease you, and people I didn't even know, children from other schools that would come on the bus. So I would hide the name of the brand of the bag. I would put my lunch bag on there so people wouldn't see what type of bag it was, and all of these things. Like, I had to learn after a while that as I grew older, I realized it was not important, but at the time as a child you feel like you know, being teased is so embarrassing and so hurtful, that as much as you can avoid it. So I think that's why sometimes children feel like they need to be in the crowd, they need to have all of these things, because they don't want to be embarrassed, they don't want to be left out. So that was something else that I was teased for. Anyways, I had a very embarrassing moment at that school because I was so shy, and I remember once I had a tummy ache, and I was so afraid to speak in class because I was shy at the time. And I didn't ask the teacher to go to the toilet, and I just kept waiting until, like, hoping the bell would ring so I wouldn't have to ask her. And then, like, the bell never rang, and then by the time I checked, like, literally I had already just dirtied all of my uniform. And I tried to, like, I asked her, and I ran to the toilet to try and, like, clean myself up and stuff. And when I came back, I felt like everything was okay because I had cleaned up myself. And then my seat was dirty, and then, like, I guess whoever was sitting next to me had seen it and called everybody, and by the time I came back to the class, everybody had seen it and was making fun of it, and was making fun of me. It was very embarrassing for me. And I think a long time after, like days and weeks after, people were still, like, they told everybody in the school, people were still making fun of me for that. But I mean, you live and you learn. And then I was still topping, like, the school. I left my old school, I came there, and I was still topping the school. And I remember once one of my classmates said, oh, you know how to pass all of your exams, but you don't know how to ask the teacher to go to the toilet or whatever. Anyway, so that was something else that I was bullied about. But I didn't spend a long time in that school because I was almost at the age to do common entrance. So I did common entrance, and then I topped the school. I went to the highest school on the island. And even when I went there, like, you felt it again. There was just I never felt comfortable there. And even when I transferred from that school to another school, to the Seventh-day Adventist school on the island, which was my belief. I preferred to go to that school because I felt more comfortable. But when I went to the school that I attended, which was St. Joseph's Convent, I kind of felt like certain people got more privileges because they were wealthy and their parents were well known, and you know, they were closer to the teachers and other people. You know, you felt more what is the word, like they belong there, and you felt like you were living in their world. And I remember feeling that way. I stayed there for 2 years. There was some things that I really loved about the school, like the extracurricular activities and sports and all of that, because I love these things. However, I just felt like that wasn't the place for me, especially in terms of my spiritual life. So then I transferred from that secondary school to the SD Academy, which is a Christian school. And then when I transferred there, I think the transition between St. Joseph's Convent to SD Academy kind of made me realize you have to be tough. And I think that's when I started to force myself to be tough, because even when I came to SDA, there were people trying to bully me. I remember in my class, because I'm very tall, I'm 5'10", they were calling me Golette, they were calling me all kind of names. I remember I was very skinny. In my community, they used to call me Popeye's girlfriend or wife, Olive. So they used to call me Olive and all of that. A lot of things, like looking back, a lot of things I got bullied for. My sisters had mixed hair, and everybody was like, how come your sisters have that type of hair and you have that type of hair? And so it was a lot of things. But one day I realized that I will be looking back on my life and see that all of what happened to me made me who I am. And I refuse to allow my circumstance, I refuse to allow where I came from to be the reason why I didn't accomplish anything in life. Because there are people who came from worse and they still made something of themselves. So I had to teach myself at that point to be confident. And I remember for my height, my elder sister always used to say, you know, walk upright, walk straight and whatever. If I dress up, she would always try to compliment me. And to be honest, when we came to live with my mom, we still were not wealthy. We still didn't have all of the stuff. But the little that we had, when I go to church, I remember in the afternoon, I only had like 4 dresses. So I just used to rotate them. And every time I dress and stuff, my sister would comb my hair and she'll say, oh, you look so nice and whatever. And the little things that she said, it just really made me feel better. But literally, I had to teach myself to appreciate my hair and myself, my height, my skin and all of that. I had to teach myself that. Then I realized when I started to walk more upright and confident and stuff, then people were like, oh my goodness, oh, what a beautiful tall girl, oh, you know. So then I realized when you start to accept yourself, then people accept you. If you're walking around like, oh my goodness, I wish I was somebody else, oh, this life, what kind of life do I have, then people start to treat you the same way. But when they realize that nothing they say will faze you, then I realized that they stopped. So when I went to the new school, I was determined to like make a change, not only in the school but in myself. And when I got there and I started working along with my other colleagues and trying to make a change in the school and trying to improve things in the school, then I realized that I was called for a higher purpose. My purpose was not to just sit down in the background and just let life take me wherever it wanted to. My purpose was wherever I am to make a change and to let people know that things can be better, and we shouldn't just settle in things and accept things and be content with things just being the way they are. But wherever you go, wherever God puts you in this life, that you have a difference to make. So literally when I got there, I just really got into the swing of things, and it was some of the best years of my life. I still, to be honest, I still got bullied about different things, but at that point I was standing up for myself, and I think people were respecting me now. So when I finally left, graduated, I graduated and got a scholarship. I graduated on top of my class for our CXC results, and so I got a scholarship to go to attend a university. And then I changed my mind about going to the university, And during that time in my life as well, growing up, like, I really wanted to be a neurosurgeon, and I was like, that's what I want to be. And if you've listened to my video about how I became a nurse, you will see. And then when I got into nursing, because even with me going into university, one of the reasons I didn't go was, firstly, I was wondering if I went and what would I study, and what I studied, would I be able to use it to actually become a doctor. Then I was like, you know what, I don't think I'm in a place, like my family's at a place financially to be able to afford a university, and I would not want to put my family under that stress of doing that. So I was like, you know what, if I go to the community college, then afterwards then I will be able to finance myself to go to university, because we didn't have any money to, my parents didn't have money to just send us to any university. So afterwards, when I got into nursing, then I realized that I love healthcare, but being a doctor would just not work out for me. The life that I wanted, the amount of free time and stuff that I wanted, would not work out for me. And I felt like I just had a different purpose in life, and so I went ahead with that. And so even during that time of my life, it was really bad. That's when I had the whole panic attack and anxiety and all of that. And yeah, it was still a struggle for me, but I realized I had to keep reminding myself. And note that I keep telling you that it's not people telling me, people keep encouraging you. People do encourage you every now and then, but people's encouragement can only last for a while. And it just boils down to what you tell yourself. And when you are alone with yourself, what do you believe about yourself? And for me, as a Christian, believing that God made me fearfully and God made me uniquely and He has a purpose for my life, I had to keep reminding myself that I won't be like everybody else. I'm not supposed to be like everybody else. I have my purpose for myself. And then I went to Sir Arthur, where I studied nursing, and I remember I met a friend there who had like she had hair close to, not just like mine, but the texture was almost like mine. But the thing is, I'd never seen somebody with her hair texture so long, and she was telling me, no, it's just because we don't take care of our hair, that's why it doesn't grow. And right away I started like researching and thinking about it, and all along, even when I was there, my hair was very, very short. And a few years ago, while I was in nursing school, I was like, you know what, let me take my hair, let me try what she said and see. And all of a sudden, like all of the same people who used to make fun of my hair or ask me all of these ridiculous questions about my hair, when my hair finally started to grow and I would comb all of these nice hairstyles, because one thing with me, if I accomplish something in life, I will be proud of it. I will not let people make me feel guilty for things that I worked hard for. So when my hair finally started to grow, I would comb my hairstyles, I would show off my hair, because I was proud of my hair. And many people wonder, tell me, like, why don't you relax your hair? Natural hair is so stressful. Because some people see natural hair as just something they do. They just see it as, you know, they have to put up with it. But me, I don't put up with my hair. I love my hair. I love my hair. Some days my hair really upsets me, but I love my hair. And so I'm very proud of it. And whenever I dress up, if I'm really in the mood, I want to be proud of my hair. I want my hair to be a symbol to people that your hair can be that way. If you don't want your hair like that, that's fine, but it is possible. It's not impossible, and that's what I want. Anytime people see me, anytime people think of me or remember me, even when I pass away, I want people to remember me and remember that anything is possible. Like, you don't have to limit yourself, especially if you believe in God. There is nothing that He cannot do. So that's where I was in my life. And then from nursing school and all of that, then I started to appreciate my hair. My hair started to grow. I started feeling more confident, trying to encourage people. And then finally I moved to the UK 2 years ago, and I feel like that was a very eye-opening experience for me, because I came from a place where I was just bullied for being tall, or bullied because my hair was short and all of these things. And now it's like a different kind of experience. And to be honest, it's not my experience. I don't feel like anybody has bullied me about my hair or my skin or anything, but we know that being a minority in a country is never a nice thing. So in the UK, which is predominantly white people, I noticed that most of the young people that I speak to, like all of them would have their hair in weaves or braids or wigs, and I would ask them, and it wouldn't just be for style, but they would tell me it's because they don't have good hair, and they would tell me because they're not beautiful. Or you would even see some people, even adults, not even young people, like adults, like bleaching their skin so that they can look fairer and all of these things. And I just felt very uncomfortable, because you're coming from a place where everybody loves being themselves, there are some insecurities, but nobody was ever ashamed of being black. And then I got here, and then I was like, I feel bad for the young people, because these Indian people should be proud to be Indian. They have a reason why they were born Indian, and that is their culture. The Filipino people and Chinese people and Japanese people and white people from America have a reason why they should be proud to be Americans, and British people as well. White British people have a reason to feel. But that doesn't change the fact that you were born the way you were born for a reason. And it's not just about your skin. And your hair can grow if you want it to. And your skin is very beautiful. Well, I don't know about your skin, but my skin is very beautiful. And you are more than just what you look like on the outside. And I feel like we have to remind our children of that every day, because it's so easy for them to look at other people and see well, majority of people, that's the kind of hair they have, and they can just jump in the pool and come off and all of these things. But that is not you, and you don't feel bad because that is not you. Just realize that is not me. And so if I'm going to the pool, I have to wear this, I have to do this, I have to do that. But nobody is going to come and save you. Nobody is going to come and make you feel better about yourself. Nobody is going to come and literally build your self-esteem and build your confidence. You have to start looking into the areas of your life where you're insecure, you're not comfortable, and do something about it. So when I was looking for a name for my YouTube channel, there were so many things I could have gone with, but I always love the name Excellence Noir, Black Excellence. I always loved the name Excellence Noir because I felt like I was a true example of that. I came from nothing. I didn't have wealthy parents. I wasn't even raised with both of my parents, and for most of my life I didn't have, even if I had one parent, a single parent, I came from a single parent family, I didn't even have my mother my whole life. I didn't have that support system. I didn't have people making sure that I did my homework. I didn't even have anybody checking if the homework was actually correct. I didn't have anybody paying lessons for me or any of that so that I can keep up with everybody else. When my friends would leave school after school and go to KFC or wherever to buy things because they had money, I would go straight home because I knew very well I didn't have any money to buy anything. So for me, I came from that, and I literally had to push myself until I am where I am today. And I will never feel like, people may look at me and not think that I am successful in my life, because they probably gauge success if you're a lawyer, if you're an engineer, if you're a doctor, and these things. But for me, my success for me has always been to be at a place where I can help other people, to be at a place where I can influence other people, to be at a place where I'm making a difference in the world. And that is success for me. And so I know I have so much further to go, and as long as God gives me life, I will continue to reach out to people and help people. But for me, I am happy looking back at where I was and seeing where I am today. I am so grateful to God. And so I want to remind you that when you see this brand, when you see this bottle, and some people probably look at it as just a bottle, but for me it's not a bottle. Every time I walk and I see it, it reminds me that I need to push, and I'm not giving up. and I need to be proud of myself, and I need to get up every day and keep trying, and I need to encourage other people to keep trying. It reminds me that my skin is beautiful. As you can see, the different shades of brown and black skin. This is melanin, okay? And I am proud of my melanin, and I'm proud of my hair. Sometimes it's crazy to people, but I don't care. It's my hair, it's growing out of my scalp, and I am proud of it. And this brand for me will always be it. There are so many different brands that I like, but I realized that sometimes most of these brands is just people's names like Louis Vuitton and Michael Kors, and these people is just rich people, and they have brands, and I mean we love the scent, or we love the bags, or whatever. We buy it also to show people that we can afford it and we have money. However, I didn't want any brand to be me, because it has nothing to do with me. I want it to be something that you can wake up every morning and it will inspire you to do better, or to want better for yourself. So this is my little backstory on my brand, and these are currently available in the UK if you are interested, and if you live outside of the UK and you are also interested, just message me at Miss Pink on Instagram. But guys, remember, every morning when you wake up and you still have the breath of life, that's another day that you can make a difference in the world. The world is already upside down, and we just need people who are interested in making it a little bit better for somebody else. So thank you for watching this video. Do continue to support and to share the videos. Please like, because the like really helps, and also if you can leave a comment and tell me what you thought about the video. I hope you're all doing well, and remember guys, to take care of yourself.